promise I won't let you back. Oh, I didn't believe them. They should have believed them. Ain't nothing but magic. Hey, I promise I won't let you back. W's in the chat if you know, or F's in the chat if you know what song I'm singing. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Live stream channel, live stream YT gang. What it do, flight crew? I'm joking. I'm joking. I am joking. What's going down, my good people, my YTG? Welcome back to another live stream. I don't know what we're doing here. This one is a kind of random live stream, and I know I've been promising to chop up my live streams and put them in videos, but the only reason I hesitated about doing that was because I wanted to make my live streams more direct first. I could chop them up and make them videos, but I wanted to make them a little bit, try to practice making them more direct on the topics that we're talking about first, so that way it's actually easier to chop up. So this is like the first instance of me doing that, okay? Ooh, excuse me. So there are only two things really that I want to talk about today. It was a fun day of women's college basketball hoops. I didn't get to watch a lot of the games, but I do have some of them that I set to record just because I want to watch them on my own time. But only two things I really want to talk about now, and I don't know if you can call it a crazy take. I don't know if you can call it a crazy take, but I do have an interesting take that I think the reason why I really want to live stream is because I want to hear people's opinion about this. So hopefully we can get some people into the live stream, and give me some feedback. Not even feedback, but let me know your opinions about this claim I'm going to make. But first things first, this live stream is going to cover the WNBA. We're going to take a look at the WNBA mock draft 2025, but we're also going to discuss really why it seems like these GMs aren't, I don't know, but for all the trades that have been made with some of the top picks and some of the lottery picks in this year's draft, there has to be a reason, or there has to be something going on, a certain attitude from these GMs and why they're not too sold on this draft class. Because if teams were actually really high on these draft class and the incoming class, they wouldn't be trading away their lotto picks and their first round picks so easily. You feel me? So is it a case of teams just banking in on the 2026 draft class or 2027 draft class? 2026, I think Lauren Marie Betts will be available. Is it Lauren or Lori? Now I'm confusing myself. I think it's Lauren Marie Betts, because she said she's going to stay an extra year at UCLA. AZ Fudd's future is still up in the clouds. I believe AZ could stay for another year at UConn, or she can go pro this year, and that's another, wrench in the mock draft, because you don't really know who's available. So are teams really just folding in their cards now and basically saying, well, these players that we're probably going to draft might not even make the roster anyway, so why not we just use our pick or our picks in this year's draft to try and get a better, I don't know, maybe try to set themselves up for 2026, 2027. Or these players aren't even going to make the team. So let's just have a mediocre year or a 500 year and try to make it into the lottery. Maybe teams are on some tanking, you know what I mean? Like the way these teams are treating their top picks, like first round picks, it seems like the initiative is to tank. You feel me? That's the vibe I get, because there's no way. Let's say if you think you had a loaded draft class. Now I'm not saying, well, we'll get into that, but this isn't a bad draft class. I don't like when people say it's a bad draft class. It's not a bad draft class. It might not have the generational talents that last year's draft class had, but it's not a bad draft class, especially to follow up last year's draft. And the second part of this video will basically be my claim, and that will be the part that definitely does get chopped into a video because I don't think it's a outlandish take or claim, but after seeing what I saw this weekend, it it popped up to be like it popped in my head. I was like, wait, this might be it. If all these teams are looking at these players and they're not sold, I think I just found the one who really is that gen talent in this year's draft. Now, some of y'all may know Paige Beckers, great player. I don't know if I want to call her a gen talent. I think she was on that path for her freshman year, especially winning National Player of the Year her freshman year. I think she was on that path. I think her injuries kind of did like mess up her career in a way. But I don't know if I have Paige Beckers as a gen talent. Just because if the competition is going to be more in the W, if there's going to be more focus and more basically higher performances against a player like Paige Beckers, against the number one pick. I'm not saying Paige can't handle that. By no means am I saying that. But I am thinking like if the defense especially is going to be at a higher level against Paige. And if you remember a couple years ago when Destiny Henderson locked up Paige in the final, I was like, if you're going to have that level of disruption for Paige, not saying that her game hasn't improved since then, but if you're going to have that level of disruption at the pro level, how is Paige going to handle that? So because I can't see that vision, I'm not going to put, yes, she's probably going to be the number one pick, or we actually don't even know with this draft class, but even though she might be the number one pick, I don't see the professional vision with Paige Beckers. And yes, I am going on the record saying that. I'm not saying that she's a bad player or whatever, but I really do think, if anything, it depends on where she lands. It really depends on where she lands, because let's say she goes to Dallas and maybe she fits right in with Enrique and Dejanay. It depends on where she goes. You feel me? But I'm not too sold. I'm willing to say that I don't think Paige Beckers, even though she probably will go number one, I don't think she's the best player in the draft this year. I don't think she's the best player. And I also have a strong feeling that I don't think AZ Fudd's going to enter in the draft either. I think she's going to take her chances and try to, yeah, I don't know. Now seeing her name everywhere on the mock drafts just makes me feel like she's not going to be in this year's draft class. You feel me? We got her name everywhere. We got her, where's she gonna go? Where's she gonna end up? Is it gonna be New York, this place, whatever? Because I'm seeing her name so much, that's what makes me think she's probably not even going to be in this draft class. You feel me? So I don't think Paige Beckers is the best player in this year's draft class. But let's just go ahead and get started on what these GMs might be seeing. Because really, if it really mattered, this might just be DC's draft class. Like, this might be the Washington Mystics draft class right here. Like, this is... They have the third, fourth. Do they have the sixth pick still? I believe they have the sixth pick. Let me check. Where's my page? Oh, there it is. I believe they have the sixth pick. Yeah, so oh my goodness. The Mystics have 3 picks in the top 6 of the lotto. It's really just DC's draft. You feel me? I don't think in any other draft would teams allow a team, whether rebuilding or not, to be constructed like this. They gave DC 3 top 6 picks. You know, how many of those picks is DC going to or retain? Probably, maybe all 3. Maybe they're trying to pull a Chicago, where they keep all 3 or keep their draft picks, especially from the first round. Maybe they're trying to do something like that. but there's a good chance that they keep all three of those picks and then everyone else gets cut. You feel me? Everyone like other the other draft picks get cut. I'm not sure if this year's draft is going to be only 2 rounds, but hopefully it's only 2 rounds. WNBA. We don't really need 3 rounds of a draft pick anyways. Like 36 players, you don't even have enough roster spots for that. Like the formality of that is really stupid. It should just be 2 rounds because then players, even though they might not make the team, at least you're not giving the players this like, okay, we're just bringing you on just to bring you on. Like at least they feel some type of like, okay, if I do well in this training camp, if I impress, maybe I don't get a spot this year, but next year I'm going to be here and eventually win a spot. Or maybe during this year, if a team needs a hardship contract or whatever, or a 10-day, these players are available. But I just don't think it's ideal stretching the draft out to like 3 rounds. I don't think that makes any sense. Now I'm going to pull up the mock draft here once my stream pulls up. But I guess, you know what? I guess we'll start with this. This is what I wanted to say in this video. This is really why I came down for this video. And the only reason I have like Liz Kitley and Asia Wilson as the thumbnail is because I was thinking about this new class. Mixed with not the older class, but with the current class. You feel me? And I was wondering, I had something pique my interest, and I was really wondering, what does it look like when this current class meets these younger players? Because for the most part, some of the rookies were basically playing with other rookies on their teams. Not saying that there weren't vets or anything like that, but as they're growing, it's really just the rookies. So think Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese figuring it out on the same team. Cameron Brink, and even though Brink got injured, it was Cameron Brink, Rakea Jackson figuring it out on their own team. Not saying that they don't have vets, but again, this might be a bad example, but maybe Aaliyah Edwards on DC. Basically being the only rook because Shakira Austin is a couple years in now, or 1 or 2 years in now, right? So to me, it's just like a lot of younger players, a lot of the rookie players. Some of them are on their own teams trying to figure stuff out, and I don't know. I'm just curious about, will we see more of these mixes with the current class and the younger rookies or the younger players? Some of the rookies, the same way we see some of the current class with older players, and how they get playing time and how they get time on the court together to build chemistry. I'm wondering, are these teams actually going to allow that rookie player or that younger player to get some minutes on the court with that current class, right? So are they going to allow someone like a Liz Kitley, who's probably going to be 6th or 7th person off the bench, are they going to allow her to play the 5 and run with Asia for a little bit? You feel me? Because I feel like you're wasting time because a lot of the older players, I think, in the W, prepare for them to retire soon. And like I told you on other streams, a lot of these moves, especially in the offseason, have been wind down moves. I think wind down career moves. Like a lot of them are just going to play 1 year, I think, and dip. So a lot of the older class is about to leave. So what is going to be the initiative? I think the W is about to accidentally fall into a prosperous and productive system, because now as this older class leaves, these younger players are going to have to play with you, and you're going to have to play the younger players with the current class. There's no more giving these minutes to the player just off of seniority. You know what I mean? You have to play them off of performance, off of chemistry, off of cohesiveness. That's what they're going to have to do. So I'm really interested to see if the teams are going to do that. You feel me? So that's why I had them as a thumbnail. And then also, like, I feel like some of these rookies are worth the chance. They're worth that playing time. They're worth that flexibility. They're worth having, like, no leash. Because look at someone like Angel Reese, right? Yes, these players are probably going to be your franchise players and whatever. But Angel Reese came in. Some of the rookies came in. Caitlin Clark came in. Angel came in. Rakea Jackson came in and had great years as rooks, just because they got the time, they got the flexibility to do whatever, and because they had relatively long leashes, they were able to showcase their talent. You feel me? And what it looks like when you have that new school with the current class. And I feel like more teams are going to, and more teams need to tap into that because that's what's going to, one, that's what's going to bring more attention to the league anyway. But that, I believe that's also going to benefit your team. In saying that, if Angel Reese got off, follow me here. If Angel Reese got off in her rookie year, right, because she had a relatively longer leash than most rookies, right? If Angel Reese got off, Angel Reese averaged what, a double double, right? What was it? 13 points? 10. I don't remember her double double. I'm forgetting Angel Reese's stats. What was it, like 15 and 13? Her rebounds were 13, right? Her rebounds were 13, right? It was like, maybe let's call it 15 and 12. Let's call it 15 and 12 because I'm not remembering off the top. Angel Reese came in average 15 and 12, right? That was just, here, get on the court, go do something. We're rebuilding. F it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give you these minutes anyway. Get the experience, get the reps in, basically throw them to the Wolves. Like, just get in there and play. Angel Reese was able to recruit 15, a double double season in her rookie year, right? I got a player that I believe is the best player in this year's draft. And her name is Michaela Timpson, and she plays for a school probably you've never really heard of, is Florida State. She plays for Florida State University. Her name's Michaela Timpson. You've probably seen her recently because FSU dubbed Notre Dame at home, which was kind of wild, but I also saw that coming because Notre Dame dubbed FSU last year at FSU in a game that went to overtime, or was it double overtime? I believe it was just overtime. It might have been double overtime, but Hannah walked up in Florida State, took the dub, and Tanaya comes back off of injury, and Michaela Timpson goes off on Notre Dame. I believe Michaela Timpson from Florida State University, she plays 4'5". She's not really a 5. She like 6'2", but this is why I said follow me, right? She plays a 4 or 5 spot. She's a forward, averaging, I believe she's averaging a double-double right now. And I also believe she is the best player in this year's draft. And again, I'm not saying I've been saying this, but it just hit me. I think maybe not the best player as in like, okay, they might have the best career, but the most pro-ready player I've seen outside of maybe some of these overseas talents that have been playing professional basketball for a while. The most pro-ready player I've seen out of the college game, I believe, is Michaela Timpson. Because if Angel Reese is about 6'3", 6'4". Michaela Timpson is actually a true 6'2". Her wingspan is like what? What's her wingspan again? Her wingspan is something crazy. I believe her wingspan is taller than like her actual. Well, it's always taller than that, relatively speaking. What was her wingspan again? She has a dummy wingspan. Like, it makes no sense. She's a 4 or 5, but she can sometimes play the 5 just because her wingspan and her length actually makes up for it, makes up for her height. But the thing is, in her game, she actually has a mid-range jumper. She's a decent free throw shooter for a big, and she can rebound and get you buckets in the post. Great finisher, great mid-range shooter. So I'm looking like if Angel Reese can come in, high motor, got that dog in her and everything, bro. If Angel Reese can come into the league on a long leash and average a double-double and put Chicago, a rebuilding team, in playoff contention, I'm seeing the same thing with Michaela Timpson here. So as I'm going through this mock draft on Tankathon, again, I'm just using Tankathon, Michaela Timpson is now 14th, going to be projected to be picked up by the Dallas Wings in the second round. I'm telling y'all right now, I think the best player or the most pro ready player in this draft is Michaela Timpson. And the reason I say pro ready too, I believe she's the player that could probably make the most impact on a team. Doesn't matter where she goes, as long as they're playing her, she will make an impact on a team. She will probably have the highest impact on a team. Out of all of these players, Raven Johnson, Haley Van Lith, Rory Harrison, Ryan Marshall, and this is also part of the reason I feel like these teams aren't really high on this year's draft, because remember when I said if you're going to be a rookie coming into the WNBA, you have to be a game changer. It's not that you have to be a generational talent, but this is like regular player, game changer, generational talent. Generational talent, you kind of guaranteed a spot, right? But if you're a game changer, these teams will more than likely try to create space for you to be on that team. You have to be a game changer. You have to be bringing something to the league that makes them say, we can't get rid of this player. We have to keep this player. Even if, let's say, you don't, usually it's for injury. Usually they be like stone away players or like putting players on layaway, but usually that's just injury. But if you're a game changer, these teams will work with you to keep you, to maybe sign you and keep your signing rights. That way that no team is coming to pick you up or like pick you up off of for a hardship contract or a 10-day or something. Like, they will sign you if you're a game changer. You have a solid chance of making the team if you're a game changer. The problem is, I don't think a lot of these players and most of the basketball world and women's basketball world will tell you that these players are generational talents or they're great players. Like, I don't see a lot of these players coming into the WNBA, getting a spot on a roster and changing shit for these WNBA teams. Remember, this is the impact point of view. Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso coming in, you know they're going to change something. You know there's going to be some sort of change. You feel me? Caitlin Clark coming into the game. You know there's going to be some sort of change. Cameron Brink, even though she got hurt, but Rakia Jackson, you know there's going to be some sort of change, even though they had the worst record. Obviously, they were bound to have that, but you saw the flashes. You saw the talent. You know they're going to have some sort of change where you can say, okay, we're going to build around these players. These are going to be our franchise players. I don't think that's there in this draft. And that's why a lot of these teams are just dubbing their first round picks. It's damn near a role player draft. Outside of, you got Paige. Let's say Paige is in between Gen Talent and Game Changer. So she's like in between that. Olivia Miles, I'm really not sure how Olivia Miles is going to pan out in the W. But to me, she's probably Game Changer. I'll give her that. I'll give her Game Changer level. Sonia Citron, Game Changer level. I'll give her that. She's definitely not going to be up near generational talent. So she falls within that role player, game changer type space. You feel me? And then you have Dominique Malonga, who's damn near like already a pro. So I don't know, generational talent. She's going to fall in that generational talent and game changer box. So she's like one of the only ones. It's basically Paige, whoever's falling in the gen talent and the game changer box is really Paige, Dominique Malonga, Michaela Timpson, as I said before. But everyone else in this draft, I believe, really falls in the game changer role player category. And that's not where you want to be if you're trying to make a WNBA team. Like, you want to be in the game changer generational talent category. You want to be in this space. You feel me? I think most of these players fall into role player to game changer talent. So I can understand why the teams aren't too high on this year's draft class, but I'm here to tell you right now, I believe the best player in this class is Michaela Timpson, and we'll get into some of her gameplay later. I'll probably show some clips on this video that I cut up, but we'll get into Michaela Timpson's game later. But I'm here to tell you now, I believe she's the best player in this draft. As of right now, in school at Florida State, she's averaging 20 points, almost 13 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 blocks, 2.3 steals a game. I think this is her. I think this is her. And she falls in that generational talent, game changer category. I think this is her, man. Y'all heard it here first, as I like to say. That's why I came here. I'm putting it on record. I think this is the best player in this WNBA draft. Over AZ Fudd if she commits. Over Nisa Morrow, Dominique Malonga, over the Sonia Citrons. I think this is the best. Over the Georgia Amors, I think she's the best player in the draft. And the thing is, she can have an instant impact for her team. So stay locked on where Michaela Timpson goes in this year's draft. Stay locked on that, because if a player like her doesn't make a team, I'm not saying she's the same player as Angel Reese, but I am saying if Angel Reese can work for a team, and Angel Reese is maybe playing just off of talent right now. She's not even playing off of like constructed professional work yet, right? She's getting that now, but last season she was just playing off of talent. She's just playing off of talent. If Michaela Timpson comes to the league and just plays off of talent, she'll probably have a better year than Angel Reese. So there's no way you're telling me that Angel Reese works, but Michaela Timpson won't. And if Angel Reese's baseline was averaging a double-double while putting a rebuilding team into playoff contention, there's no way you're telling me Michaela Timpson doesn't work. So maybe, you know what? Yes, I'm saying she's the most pro-ready player, but maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just that for a player like Michaela Timpson, I can clearly see the impact she could have. Maybe it's just easiest to see for me for her. Does that make sense? Like, her impact is easy to measure. Like, I understand what she can do for this team. And they might call her undersized, whatever. Like, put her at the 4. Who gives a damn? You should have a 5 on your team. And if you got Michaela Timpson as your 4, that's good. That's good anyway, because your bench probably has good defense now. You can play her with the starters. If you have a 5, like, undersized at 6'2" sounds really crazy, but put her at the 4. She could probably guard 3-2 if you want her to. Wait, hold on. Let me check Tankathon again. Where's she going? Where's she she's projected to go to the wings. Well, let's all pray tonight that she doesn't go to the wings. Let's just pray. You know what I'm saying? We don't. Maddie Westbeld is projected to go 15th to the Minnesota Lynx. So if you're a Minnesota Lynx fan, y'all better get in the Lynx's comments on social media and like just keep tagging Michaela Timpson. Like, tag Michaela Timpson, because Minnesota also has the 11th pick in this first round. 11th pick in the first round. They got, again, these are just projections off a Tankathon, but they got Isaiah James from NC State going 11th. If I were a Minnesota fan, I would be hyping up Michaela Timpson right now, because that could be, again, but if Jay Shepard comes back this season, that might be tough for their rotation, because then you have Dorka, you have Jay Shep, Elena Smith, Fee. It's like 4 forwards. It's tough. So Minnesota actually depends on what they're going to do with Jessica Shepard. I call her Jay Shep so much, I don't even know if her name is actually Jessica. Yeah, it would depend. But we're just going to pray that Michaela Timpson doesn't go to Dallas. We're going to pray. We're going to pray. But that's the best player in the draft, y'all. I'm telling y'all right now, that's the best player in the draft. That's rookie of the year potential. Because all these other players, I don't know, man. Maybe Dominique Malonga, but I don't really count Dominique Malonga because, again, she's been playing professional basketball. But I really do think the best player in this draft class is Michaela Timpson. Like, if Angel Reese can work, if Angel Reese can work, yeah, y'all make fun of her for her layups and her rebounds. When did rebounding the ball become a bad thing? Y'all make fun of her for these things, but if Angel can work, and I will stand by this statement, but Michaela Timpson is way more talented than Angel Reese. Like a lot more talented. Angel Reese might have a higher ceiling, but as of right now, Michaela Timpson is way more talented than Angel Reese. And if Angel Reese can be your franchise player, your cornerstone to your franchise, there's no reason Michaela Timpson can't make it. And I'm not even looking for no cred, no brownie points. I'm not trying to get Michaela Timpson to follow me or nothing like that. I'm just saying what I noticed this weekend after watching. I've been watching her before because I did watch FS. I've been following Tanaya Lotson this year. And remember, Tanaya was in my 5 most exciting players to watch this season. Yeah, she was in my 5. I think she was number 3 on my 5 most exciting players to watch this season. Y'all remember that video? Just scroll down if you ever missed it. But I was following Tanaya this season, and I didn't really hear much about Michaela Timpson at first because I really thought Tanaya was just by herself at FSU. I started watching more FSU games. I was bound to watch them anyway, but started paying attention more at Michaela Timpson. I was just like, wait, FSU has a pretty good duo. They might be competing really well in the ACC this year. She walked up and she's damn near dropping double doubles every game. She's averaging a double double. And she tore. I love y'all know I love Maddie Mustang. Y'all know I love Maddie Westbell, but Maddie's. I don't know if Maddie got that dog in her. I want Maddie. Sometimes she got that. She got that pretty. Maddie be playing pretty. Maddie got that Beverly Hills poodle in her. I don't know. Like Kayla Timpson got like a mix of like golden retriever Rottweiler. You know what I'm saying? Just like IQ off the charts and like that hustle. You feel me? Maddie sometimes gives me, what's her name? High School Musical, Sharpay. Didn't she have the like little dog in the purse? Who was it? Sharpay. Sometimes Maddie I'm not saying Maddie's a bad player or nothing like that. She can play her ass off, but sometimes I want Maddie to give the, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I want Maddie to get a little aggy. You feel me? I want Maggie. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Y'all did not hear that. Strike that from the tape, y'all. Anyway, let me read some of the comments. Y'all didn't hear that. The Demonat, what's up? Salute to you. Salute! Demonat, thanks for checking out the live stream. Thank you all for being here in the live stream as well. I appreciate y'all. Never has to be 200 or 2,000, man. I appreciate every single view, man. Anyway, I agree. After Page, Miles, and Malonga, there is a drop-off. Would you say the talent level between the 4th pick to the 15th pick is close for this year? And you think Timpson is going to the sky? Man, if Timpson, let me look at this third. Said they've got now did an interview with Michaela Timpson where they broke down her game. You should check it out. I'll probably check that out after I do my video on Michaela Timpson and the things I see, because I don't want to be, I don't want to see them break down. I don't want to see them break down Michaela's game before I really break it down. You feel me? I get my eye out there first, and then I'll probably go watch it. Timpson to the sky. Sky have too many guards and no backup for Angel. Yeah, because Izzy Harrison did sign with us. securing our back-to-back championship. You feel me? You feels me? You feel me? Let me let me check who's Sky. You know what? I was telling Minnesota fans to pick up to start campaigning for Michaela Timpson, huh? Boy, if the Chicago Sky got Michaela Timpson, ain't nobody's getting a rebound, bro. Not one person is getting a rebound. Now, remember the Chicago Sky did trade away their third pick for who they package? Oh, for Ariel Atkins, for the Ariel Atkins package, basically. DC, they're saying DC is projected to pick up Sonia Citron. This is Tankathon, so Tankathon is like the IMDb of mock drafts. You feel me? It might not make a lot of sense, but it's solid in a way. It's like the recency bias mock draft. Chicago has the 10th pick. Okay. Chicago could pick up Michaela Timpson. There's a chance. They would probably be praying like hell. There is a chance that Michaela Timpson does not go 1 through 9. Well, let's see here. With Chicago's interior, you got Camilla, Elizabeth Williams, Angel. Um, and you have a bunch of forwards. Yeah, you're probably right on that. They don't have too many forwards. That's it, right? It's only Elizabeth Williams, Camilla, and Angel as of right now, right? And I think they have like I'm so cold. I think they have a couple of players on training camp contracts. Or they? I'm not why am I? I'm messing this name up right now. The shorty from Indiana, Indiana or Wisconsin. Who she signed with? She signed a training camp contract with. It might have been Seattle. Yeah, I might be thinking of Seattle because I remember seeing Zaya and then they signed somebody else. So that might be Seattle. I can't remember who else is on training camp contract with Chicago other than Arella Garantes. However, Chicago could sign Michaela Timpson. But if anything, Michaela Timpson probably gets picked up by the Mystics in the 3, 4, or 6 spot. Sorry, 3, 4, yeah, 3, 4, or 6 spot. They probably pick up Michaela Timpson in one of those spots. Um, but if Chicago manages to clutch, I don't know how much Angel likes being at the 5 or how she could probably bang at the 5 on some rebound hustles. You know what I'm saying? She could probably bang at the 5. But if they want to put her at the 5 and then put Timpson at the 4, that could work. No one's touching the glass. That's a glass cleaning pair right there. Michaela Timpson to, oh, bro, that actually might be a good spot. Good call. Good call. Good call. But they would have to hope that she doesn't get picked up from 1 through 9. 1 through 3, she might be okay. 4 to 9, the sky might be sweating. 4 to 9, the sky might start sweating. Uh, all right. Let me go back. Now you said, do you think the talent from 4 to 15 is close? I don't know what you mean by that, but are you saying that if you think I think these players are in the same like the same category or whatever that category may be? Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because there's the thing, I don't even think 1 through 4 is like too far from the same, too far from being close either. It depends on the team that picks them up, but also I don't they're low key all close. her look. I mean, if Sonia Citron's projected to go three, not saying Sonia Citron is a bad player or role player type player, you feel me? But are we calling Sonia Citron a generational talent? Is she a game changer? Yeah, I'll gladly put Sonia Citron in the game changer category, but I still think Dominique Malonga is going second, though, to Seattle. I think they're I think they want Dominique Malonga. I think they want Dominique Malonga because think about it, Neka Gumake, but she probably got like 1 or 2 years. Well, she could probably play for like 3 more years, but they're probably banking on Neka's probably going to play 1 or 2 more years. Let's pick up Dominique Malonga, a generational talent. So I do think still Dominique Malonga goes second, but all of this talent from fourth. So that means you technically have Olivia Miles maybe going to DC, Sonia Citron maybe going to DC, or Anissa Mara or Kiki Ariafen. Kiki Ariafen, they've had her hard set at fifth going to the Valks. I don't know why. DC might pick Kiki Ariafen. I don't know. But they've had her hard set at five. Like no one has moved Kiki from the five spot. I don't know what that's about. I don't even know if Kiki's gonna go five. She might go six. She might fall. Shit. Yeah, but let's say it was so Dominique goes second. Then you got Olivia Miles, Sony, Kiki, Anissa Morrow, Cheyenne Sellers, Tina Pow Pow. I think Tina Pow Pow's up really high at 8. Yeah, maybe she's at the right spot. And then you have AZ Fudd, ninth, Georgia Amor, 10th, Isaiah James, 11th, Sivka, I don't want to mispronounce her first name, the overseas pro. I didn't even know she was 19. She was young. I thought she was older. And then you have 13, 14, 15 is Ayoka Lee, Michaela Timpson, and Maddie Westbell. I think after that 15th spot anyway is like Janiyah Barker. They got Janiyah Barker 18th in the second round. I think Janiyah Barker goes way higher, actually. I think Janiyah Barker goes first round. I also think Haley Van Lith has a chance of going first round. Yeah, I promise you, this draft class is going to be so interesting. I don't like hoping for time or like wishing for time to speed up because time already seems like it's been sped up these past couple of years, especially after 2020. But I'm really looking forward to this draft, man, because this is gonna be such an interesting draft. But I think it's also going to be, in some ways, the end of it. I think it's going to be predictable. But yeah, in terms of the talent from 4th to 15, all that is close. Absolutely. Absolutely. You really only have maybe 2 generational talents and this first round 3 game changers. It's not a lot, man. It's not a lot. 2 generational talents and 3 game changers. And that might be me being nice, me being generous. You feel me? Let me go back. Let me check these comments real quick. Yeah, but Michaela Timpson, Chicago would be very smart to get Michaela Timpson. And maybe at that 10th spot is perfect, is exactly where she should drop. I'm going to wrap this stream up soon, but let me just hit these comments. Sky of 2 minutes go, okay, Izzy will do great. Yeah, Izzy's gonna do work for us. It's great. She doesn't have to do too much. What is this? I think, wait, what is this? Move this. Why did I just move this? Like block the comment. There we go. I think Sellers, Pow Pow, or Timpson at the 10th pick. But yeah, those players seem like late first rounders. But after seeing what I've seen, like obviously the W isn't gonna see things the way I see them, right? But that's what my channel is for. Yeah, they're about late first rounders. But again, if I was in charge of some things, you know what I'm saying? If I was working for some teams, you know how I'd be coming. Will, Camilla, and Angel only. Ewell, Camilla, and Angel. Oh, so Elizabeth Williams, Camilla, and Angel only right now. Yeah, so they do need a backup for Angel Reese because she has to get her. She has high motor type player, so she doesn't need a backup. That's facts. She's still coming back from knee injury. I do know that. I mean, Izzy was also coming back from knee injury too when they had her. So there will be a lot of movement throughout the NCAA tournament and after. I really hope. I don't think this is actual. I don't think teams need should be putting a lot of credence on the NCAA tournament. Or yeah, one they shouldn't be putting a lot of credence on the tournament, but also it seems if they do, you have to understand that's the most elementary thing ever. That is the most elementary thing ever because it's like you're supposed to be when it comes to the March Madness tournament, that's not your end all be all for selecting players or should be your oh, this is oh the spotlight's gonna be biggest here. Why? Why is your spotlight big here? Because it's a tournament and you know it matters the most. Okay, that's just let's look at the factors changed. You're playing one game. Um, Injuries also are going to be a part of it. Yes, the pressure is higher. The stakes are higher. Okay, the stakes are higher. How many factors are changing really in the NCAA tournament? Because what teams are going to do is like, oh, the player that played well throughout the tournament, oh, that person's going to get a boost to their draft stock. Doesn't mean they still have some of the same flaws in their game. Just because they played well in the tournament or maybe got a fortress draw, shit gets excused. Or people are so quick to miss the same things, so they end up drafting that player that had a great tournament run, and then the player end up not fitting because y'all got to stop watching highlights. I damn near feel like these teams are watching highlights too much. Like there should be specific things, especially if you've been keeping tabs on these players or keeping track of these players throughout the season. Really, I feel like you might learn more about these players throughout the season than damn near in the tournament. Because you can analyze habits in the season. You can analyze tendencies and instincts in the season. When you're in a setting where the stakes are higher, most players will do certain things just not off of necessarily their will, but because they feel like they have to. There's no other choice. You have to die for that loose ball. You feel me? But is that the type of player in the regular season that would die for a loose ball on a play like this? No, it's not. They're only doing it because the stakes are higher. So I don't know if teams really know how to read, or analyze performances in March Madness properly. That's my take. That's my take. So I don't like when March Madness happens and everyone's just like, and that's what moves the needle the most for some of these draft picks. Why? Why? You're banking too much on a tournament. On the tournament, you're banking too much. Yes, you can learn a lot from it. Don't get me wrong, but more so, the things I'd be looking at in the tournament from a player is really up here. It wouldn't have much to do with your physical play. It would really just be I want to see what type of mentality you have up here. Because in the tournament, the stakes are higher, the pressure is higher. How are you? I think the biggest picture or the best look we can get at up here is going to happen in the tournament. It has nothing to do with your play. Well, not play, you understand what I'm saying, the physical part, but it's really, I think the March Madness tournament really only exposes like what's up here, like what's your focus like, what's your leadership like, um, what's your mentality like? Can you move on to the next play? Do you count yourself out? Do you start crying when there's like 10 seconds left on the clock and you're down three? Like, what's your what's your mentality like? That's what I want to see. That's what I think the March Madness tournament really proves. It's like, what type of player are you getting? You feel me? That's all. That's all. I win. Yeah, but that's it. that's basically it for this live stream. I really only wanted to talk about two things, but we did get into a couple of other things. But like I said, I'm standing on this again. You heard it here first. Michaela Timpson is the best player in this year's draft. She's the best player in this year's draft by far. Um, Teams aren't high or aren't heavy on this year's draft class because, again, most of these players fall in the role player, game changer category, and the majority of them fall in that role player category. And the thing is, the NBA role player, everyone looking for, good role players and whatnot to complement their superstars. But in W, that doesn't work because of limited roster spots and whatnot. So that's the sucky part of the W, but that's what it is. That's the reality. So that's why I think GMs and teams aren't high on this year's draft class, and that's who I think the best player in the draft class is. That's going to do it for this live stream. I appreciate all of you checking out this live stream, leaving comments, engaging with it. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for spending some of y'all, last couple hours of the weekend with me. Hope everyone has a good week. Stay safe, stay blessed. Take care. I'm out of here. Peace.